Welcome back to coverage of the 2021 Canadian Mixed Curling Championships, live from the Canmore Golf and Curling Club. We are Draw 20 coverage, and it's a Battle of Ontario tonight as we watch Northern Ontario's Trevor Bonneau take on Ontario's Mike McLean. We get things started this evening with Amanda Gates, the lead from Northern Ontario. My name is Darren McEwen. I'm going to be joined this evening by a special guest commentator joining us tonight. You just saw him this afternoon. He's the skip of New Brunswick. James Grattan will be in the booth shortly to call the game with me tonight. Start things off with the center guard by Amanda. This is championship pool coverage of this event, and both teams coming in with impressive records. Ontario is sitting at 6-2. Northern Ontario is at 5-3. And if you're the team from the Fort William Curling Club in Thunder Bay, you don't want to drop any more. And Ontario is looking to make their move into a chance at the playoffs on Sunday. And we're joined this evening, again, special guest James Grattan, the skip of Team New Brunswick. James, thanks so much for joining us.
Oh, thanks for having me, Darren. this is going to be a fun one. It's going to be a great game.
We saw you in action on this sheet against Northern Ontario a few hours ago. How's the event been going for you? You guys have had a good run so far?
Yeah, it's actually been a great time. We've had some games that we probably want back, but we've had some games that we probably snuck out that maybe we shouldn't have, so it all works out in the end.
You are watching two teams you've played already this week. Tell me about your matchups with Northern Ontario and Ontario in this event so far.
Well, the freshest one in their mind is actually the one we just had against Northern Ontario, which you guys watched probably a few hours ago. It was one of those kind of strategic battles where we're kind of both teams were kind of playing for to have Hammer coming home in the 8th end, and we got a little bit of a break there in the 6th, I guess it was the 5th end. Yeah, we did. So it kind of tipped the scales in our direction, which was nice.
Yeah, we don't have stats on the games here, but you guys played phenomenal in that, especially once you got the steal of 3, didn't really look back. In our feature here, Northern Ontario's wrapped one around the 2 staggered center guards. See the ice out there, just outside the edge of the 8-foot Mike's putting down for Erica. Tell me about the ice this week, James.
Well, the ice has been actually really consistent all week, from the first draw to the last draw we just played it. So you can pretty much go out there and put the broom down the same day as the same spot as day 1 as now. So that's, as a curler, that's all you can ask for. And you can pretty much make any shot out there. A buried rock is not safe, which is nice. And it's kind of our game to play those kind of little board weight, hack weight shots, and we kind of lean towards those rather than the run back. So it's been great surface for that, for sure.
Yeah, it seems to be the championship pool teams have really figured out the weight control, especially on those hits. You bring the weight down where you can to keep your shooter, because like you said, there's so much curl. If you can get around the guard with quiet take out weight, you can keep your shooter in play and work with it.
Yeah, and that's been the beauty of it all. I think in our last game we played Northern Ontario, and they seem to lean towards the run back more than some other teams. And, if those teams that can make those hack weighter and board weight shots are going to do well here for sure.
Mike McCarville with his stone will just get the biter there on Northern Ontario. I promise not to make the mistake too much of calling them just Ontario. Northern Ontario sitting 2 to start the end. Ontario won the draw to the button, so they will have Hammer throwing the blue rocks. You see Kevin Tippett here. He's actually a native of your province, New Brunswick. He played juniors in New Brunswick.
Yeah, there's a few New Brunswick natives out there this week, and Sebastian Robillard is another one that's from Sussex, New Brunswick as well. So had a great chat, great time getting to know him a little bit more this weekend. So it's been great. There's a bunch of New Brunswickers out there for sure.
6 degrees of separation. Sebastian used to curl at the Ottawa Curling Club, where this team's from.
That's right.
Yeah, there's a lot of connections out here on the ice. So Northern Ontario sitting 2, Mike McCarville in the hack to throw his second. Should mention these are 8-end games if you're just tuning in for the first time this week. And 30-minute thinking time for each team. 2 timeouts are allotted. They have 90 seconds for those. How the playoff situation works is the top 4 teams from our championship pool will move into Sunday's playoffs. And right now, Northwest Territories leads the way with a 7-1 record. You can find all the standings and scores at curling.ca/scoreboard. You see Mike's rock just sliding to the back of the 4-foot, but pretty relatively buried, although on this ice, it's hard to say anything's buried. Isn't that the case, James?
Yeah, that's right. It's nice to see both teams willing to get right after it here early in the game.
I made the mistake early in your game this afternoon. Wobble there by Kevin.
Yep.
I was saying we don't see a lot of blank ends in mixed curling.
And then in the first two ends of our game.
I think you had 4 or 5 blank ends, but you didn't have hammer until the 8th end you were mentioning.
No, we were kind of at the will of Northern Ontario this afternoon. We were kind of just trying to force them to get hammer back, but it just seemed to take forever to get it. I think the first time we had hammer was the 8th end of the game. So.
Nice shot there by Kevin to clear things out a little bit. There's still 2 Ontario guards, but they're set up nicely if they do need to use them later.
Yeah, they have a good chance here to kind of put some pressure on Ontario, especially when Ontario has hammer here. Get this one buried.
Jackie McCormick, she is the sister to Skip Trevor Bonneau. And the rest of the team from Northern Ontario, the Fort William Curling Club, it's second Mike McCarville. We just saw in the lead Amanda Gates.
Yeah, let it try. Let it work.
They finished second in Pool A. Dropped their last 2, though.
Whoa. Can never stop a little higher. I'd be really happy. I know.
Comes a little deep for their liking, I think, to give the chance for Ontario to freeze here.
The Ontario roster is led by Erica Hobson. We saw Kevin Tippett the second, and in the hack now is the third, Aaron Morrissey, and of course the skip Mike McLean. They curl out of the Ottawa Curling Club. They finished third in Pool B. Actually, correction, they finished first in their pool.
Whoa! It's out there.
This one needs to come up a little bit.
Sweeper's calling a 9, which would be behind the tee.
Stayed on it. Okay.
A rub off.
Real good chance here to put some pressure on Ontario. Lying 3 buried and throwing, which is always a good scenario.
Wait only.
Jackie McCormick with a key shot early in this game.
Hard. Line's good. Line's good. Top 4. Yep, straight. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yep,
Sweepers
straight.
like the weight.
Hard.
They get it by, they were well by the guard and just rub off, but pretty good result nonetheless. You can just see the swing on the ice there. I mean, they were well off to the right of what you're looking at there on the screen and just rubbed off the top 12-foot stone.
Yeah, it's one of those surfaces this week, too, when you really got to get by the guards. In order to bury a rock, you really got to get by almost 2 feet in order to be any good. And you can see it on that shot there where they were by the guard by about 18 inches. It's still wrecked on something that wasn't almost in play. A real important shot here for Ontario.
Whoa!
Aaron Morrissey with her second stone of this first end.
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
Facing 2, maybe 3 Northern Ontario counters right now.
Hard!
Gets by the front 2.
Shooter.
And a little roll underneath.
Okay.
And it's definitely now 3 for Northern Ontario.
Way to make it now. So we get...
So a different path here Trevor's taking. It's going to be his in turn, the clockwise draw. I don't think we've seen too many down here yet this end.
Yeah, this is the good news for him that he's played this sheet earlier today. He's, I think against me, he made this shot pretty easy there in the 7th end of the game. So I think he's having some flashbacks and probably has some positive thoughts about this one.
Speed's good.
All the teams get the pre-game practice to try out the spots in the ice, and I'm sure this is one that they've seen also in their practice. A little bit of warmer conditions outside here in Canmore today. It's been raining most of the day, 9 degrees Celsius. So did you notice a difference, James, in the ice at all today from the other days?
Yeah, I thought the speed was a little slower today. I think it's just a little more humidity out there and that sort of thing, and the ice was kind of softened up a little bit for us there. But overall, no complaints. Really consistent.
That's light. Won't do much in terms of a guard at all, but he at least knows that path now to be a little bit slower than maybe Trevor was expecting.
Story here, eh?
Still in good shape here. A lot of pressure on this shot for Mike here.
Okay.
I think he's going to stick to the shot he knows there. He saw a couple of Aaron shots come in here on the out-turn side, so he's just going to probably try to get one in the forefoot here and limit the damage maybe at this point too.
Okay.
Mike's been making a lot of these shots all week, so I'd expect him to be real close on this one. Doesn't waste a lot of time in the hack either. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, line him if you can.
I think the only faster one we've seen is Jamie Cooey.
Yeah, that's another one for sure.
Yeah.
Yep. Whoa, play the weight, play the... Whoa.
Yep.
This one needs to slow down and curl. It really did come down at the end.
Actually
Wow.
did come down. They were acting like that was back 8 there for a long time.
I think it's shot stone. Looks like it from
We could ever judge it a hair.
first overhead. Yeah, it looks like there it would be blue.
Yeah.
Good shot there by the Ottawa skip. So Trevor will get another chance at this turn.
Straight freeze.
Kind of surprised at this. I thought he'd kind of maybe follow down Mike there and just kind of move him 6 inches and force Mike to the turn he's not familiar with really. But he just threw this on his first one, so I think he's thinking he just needs to add a few more feet.
Trevor Bonneau with his final stone without hammer in this set. Ontario has 1 on the button.
Line
Jackie,
check.
his sister, likes the line. Starting to dive now, though, James.
Got to go on that one.
Doesn't have the legs. They're just by the top one, and where does this end up? What a shot by Trevor on his last to sit 1. How do you get rid of that?
Wow, it's going to be real close for even 2 maybe.
What do you think?
Yeah,
Great shot.
Aaron having a look to see.
I think so. That's kind of hard to
Both Mike and Aaron are
tell
looking.
with the rock there.
I know exactly.
Yeah, it's really important to kind of figure out who's second shot here because you don't mind giving up 1 in the first end. You can kind of fool yourself into thinking you had a nice force there, but you don't want to be giving up 2.
Totally.
So I think they're going to throw it away. I think they must think their second shot here.
What a shot by Trevor Bonneau to start this game.
That was a great shot.
Just throw it away.
Yeah, so obviously Mike thinks he's second shot here, so I think we're looking at probably a steal for Northern Ontario at this point.
A pretty big statement to start with. Trevor losing his last 2 games. And Mike McLean will just throw this one away, concede the steal of 1.
Jackie might put us in.
I might take a look, I'm not sure, before we...
Yeah, we'll see if they're going to have another look here. Sure looks like blue from our vantage point here, but we'll see.
Yeah, I think they're going to call for a measure. It's a pretty important game here, right? Your playoff implications, a 2 steal would be huge to start, so the Vice is having a good laugh there. 2 other games on the ice tonight. We have a championship pool game right beside us, James. It's Quebec, Jean-Michel Menard, who's sitting at 6-2, taking on Dean Grindheim of Saskatchewan. They're 4-4, and then over on sheet C, we have a seeding pool game, Nova Scotia against Yukon. And back at our feature here, we get a good shot, thanks to our officials from Curling Canada that are in. Andy's going to put the stick on this. Pretty tight to the button. This is a measure for the second point. Northern Ontario already being red already has 1.
This is kind of exciting. I haven't seen a measure all week from any of our games, so this is kind of nice that I even have the tool here.
Great job by our friends at IKS Live to get right in there.
Yeah.
Goes over to call that the 2. Just past it.
2.2 maybe?
Yeah. And, Andy.
Oh,
Andy.
get your head out of there.
I think it was blue. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're having a chuckle over the stick move quite significantly. So it will be a steal of 1 for Northern Ontario and an absolutely fantastic shot by Trevor Bonneau on his last. Big confidence builder, though, James, after losing his last 2 games. I'm sure he wanted to get off to a good start tonight.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you don't want to keep the trend going. You want to get on off on a good foot in this game, and they played obviously a great end there and obviously he finished it off with a great shot there on his last one to secure the steal for sure.
So I should talk about how Northern Ontario got to this point of the tournament. They won their first 3. They defeated Alberta 11-5 and then Nova Scotia 10-2. So high-scoring games in those first 2. 8-1 win over Manitoba. They dropped their next one to Quebec, 6-3 loss, but then rhymed off 2 wins against Nunavut and Northwest Territories' Jamie Cooey. That was a big win. They won 4-3, an important one for the standings. And then, as I mentioned, dropped their last 2, BC and to the man next to me, James Grattan, just this afternoon. So looking to get back in the win column. They do have one more game tomorrow at 7 p.m. against Saskatchewan as we watch Erica Hobson throw her first for the Ontario rink.
This is going to have to go to get over the hog line. No?
Yeah, that's a hog. I don't know if we saw many down that side. Maybe that was a little slower than Erica expected.
No, I do find on this surface too, you've had to kind of keep track of how many rocks go down that path, and if it sits for a little while, you got to be quick with that and kind of remember how long it's been sitting, because you do got to give it a few more extra feet there.
This one should hold better.
That's probably what happened there. That's probably the first rock that's been down there obviously this game, and maybe not in practice, you don't throw that path, so.
It's got a curl, if anything.
We've said a few times this week, James, the toughest shot on this ice, whether you agree, is placing a guard on another stone.
Yeah, because like I know when the ice is a little straighter, you're really only worried about weight, but out here you're kind of, there's a bunch of variables in play here, and how they throw it, and a little bit soft releases sometimes, and I think everybody's getting used to each other. Like in mix, you're not used to playing with each other for the whole entire season. I know on my team, there's only been like maybe 2 or 3 events where we've got a chance to see each other throw, and so it takes some extra kind of guesswork out there, at least putting the broom down and playing with people that you're not really familiar with. So guards are tough.
Real hard. Hard, guys. Hard.
It's a good point with mixed. There's some teams here that have played together, weekly or fairly regularly, but other teams come together just for the playdowns. Your team, is it you guys mostly just play down together? Do you play events throughout the season?
Yeah, we got together maybe for a tournament last March, thinking that we were going to have a provincial championship in April, but that didn't really happen, so we got postponed till about 3 weeks ago now.
Wow.
So we've only managed, this is our 3rd event together, I guess you could say. So, but we've been familiar with each other for years. It's a small province. We know each other fairly well, but Jamie Brennan, who's my second this week, plays on my men's team, but so that makes it easy, but the girls are, we're still getting used to each other.
Jillian and Jacqueline?
Yes.
A lot of J's on that team.
Yeah, 4 J's, yeah.
Top four.
Great shot coming in here by Mike McCarville.
Nice shot, Mike.
That's going to go right to the Canmore Curling Club logo. So Kevin's going to be asked to play, open it up down the middle with his shot.
I noticed this week's been one of those weeks where it's like the first person in seems to have control of the end there fairly early, and because even the runbacks are hard. They curl a lot of ice surfaces. When you throw a lot of weight, they'll just run down there, and becomes pretty easy. But on this surface, even the peels are curling. So
Shooter.
Good shot.
Okay,
Ends
that's
up
good.
getting two guards, rolls the shooter a little off the center line. Ontario got here with 2 wins in their opening couple days. The Yukon and Prince Edward Island, they defeated 10-2 and 10-3 respectively. They dropped a decision to Saskatchewan and then went on a 4-game winning streak, defeating Newfoundland and Labrador, BC, New Brunswick, Manitoba, and then they lost last night in a tough one to Northwest Territories. Jamie Cooey's team played in the 90s, if not 100%. They've made everything.
catch a little of that one.
Yeah, it was a real tough game to come up against this team from Yellowknife that is on a roll this week.
Stop.
Good. Stop in time.
Nice shot, nice guard. Leaves the back one open, but I'm not sure it does much for Mike at this point in time. He's going to have to play it, but he's going to have to watch where he rolls here.
Narrow port for Kevin to navigate on this. You talked about playing their provincials. A lot of these teams, including Ontario, just a couple weeks ago. So credit to all these teams for players and employers for making this work, because a number of them had to take a few days off for provincials and now a week off with little notice. And Kevin with a great navigation of the port. Will he hang on? Just bites the
He
that
stayed in there.
Pretty big spin at the end.
That was tough to do, actually, because I thought if he got through the port, it was going to be pretty darn close to nose hit there, or even a perfect little roll.
Normal up.
Got a little unlucky rolling that far.
Your friend Russ Howard likes to talk about the striking bands at the events. How are the striking bands here? They don't not as lively.
Not as lively as a Briar, but they seem to be a little bit springy at a Briar, like almost too much. But these are more like curling club rocks. So you really have to throw it hard in order to make a half rock double. But that's not saying there hasn't been a lot of nice shots like that made here.
Good shot, Jack.
Really nice shot.
I've seen a few spin too, like they look like they were going to spin out of, or be out of the house, and they spin at the end.
Back, yeah. You have to sweep to the end. You don't give up on anything. That's for sure.
Good shot by Jackie McCormick.
Keeps the pressure on Ontario here. They're having
it's a chase right now, isn't it?
Setting up an end for a deuce here.
Yep. Hard.
Talk about playing with teammates on your team. Erica and Aaron play together in women's, which I think is a big help, particularly a help when the skip plays with their second in this case for the men's, because you just know where to put the broom. These four have curled a couple years, I believe, together as a mixed team, so familiarity is key.
Yeah, that's what we even had a little team meeting there before this game, and we just figured the way things are going, we just needed to kind of figure some things out. And it's just one of those weeks where we're still getting used to each other, but we're finding that we're building on that, and we're getting more and more used to each other as the week goes along. So it's a good time to kind of improve rather than the status quo. So our last game was one of our best games, which is a good sign. So we're looking forward to the rest of the weekend. That's for sure.
Whoa, it's not moving. It's heavy.
The sweepers are backing off a bit on this one.
Whoa.
Looks really good, though.
Whoa, I'm trying to just want to stop.
Great spot.
That will bite the 12-foot. Northern Ontario sitting 3 without hammer. Erin Morrissey mentions her nickname is Muscles Morrissey. Not, well, she says it's not for her arms.
No?
It is, she loves eating mussels. So.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay. I knew there had to be something more to that.
Something a little more to it. Yeah. The Gordy Perry Bonspiel at the Ottawa Curling Club is a pretty popular event.
Okay.
And you can ask John Morris and a few other people who you know that it's quite popular year-end event. And Erin...
Muscles.
Right? Yeah, the muscle night. They have a muscle night there. So
and then
she wanted to
a little bit of garlic butter can't fix.
Yeah, I mean you're from the East Coast, you know. What it's like.
I'm an Ottawa boy myself too, though. Actually, I was born and raised in Ottawa, so been in the East Coast now since I was 15 years old. So that's home now at this point. But
same as you,
yeah. I'm a big muscle fan as well. I've never gained that nickname though, so I'll leave that with her.
Jimmy the Kid, right?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, 40. What am I now? 47 years old. Still haven't shook that one yet, but
Same as Jackie,
that's okay.
but
There's worse.
It's for good. It's for good reasons.
No.
There's worse.
Yeah. Oh, you definitely could
we'll
be
call
worse.
it a little better.
So Trevor Bonneau, a chance again to put again pressure on Ontario.
Now this is draw the button
Good win
speed
here.
compared to that side, right?
Yeah, even right now, without him throwing, Ontario's going to have a hard time getting in there for a second point or for a point. So it's a good chance for him again here.
Different side from the first two draws he played in the first end, but you heard him say to his front end, should be draw to the button speed from the pre-game practice.
Yeah, go, Mike. Hard, Mike.
Sweepers calling top 12.
Every inch, Mike. Every inch. Hard.
Makes the hole a little bit tighter for Ontario.
Yeah, he's going to have a decision to make here.
Around this?
He either has to wrap one right around the blue rock or raise it in. And this is one of those shots where raises and taps are really hard because you're trying to match up weight and line. So he's probably going to just try to just sink one around that blue rock at this point. And it curls so much here that even if he gets by the blue rock by an inch or two, the hole is still there. It looks like Bonneau left a little hole there just so he has that option on the out turn.
Should be good out here. Fully.
You see a lot of these shots this week out wide where people expect it, you know, if you're in a normal curling club, these kind of shots, you have to throw about 10 more feet, but it really slides out here. And
Fresh
I
path.
see a lot of people getting fooled. But the speed,
for it,
they always
wait
think
for
it's about 6 to 8 feet slower,
Yep,
but it
yep,
never really seems to.
Whoa, then. Just play the weight. Just play the weight.
Hasn't curled yet. Should break soon.
Just wait.
It's got to slow down a little bit, but
Right back, Jack. Right back.
They have overcooked
Right
that.
back. Right back. Out of the 8 foot. Out of the 8
Where
foot.
will that sit?
Right
That
out, right
is
out,
going to
right out, right out.
slide
Faster.
right to the back.
yeah, it's a kind of a prime example. Like you were sitting in the hack, and I know in a normal game
it's
you're
us
thinking
anyway,
you got to give that
further
6, 8
out,
more feet, but you really don't.
Right, make him play the harder side.
You'll see Northern Ontario try to block that same path off now. Ontario does have the other side of the ice on the outturn side here.
Like this, trying
They
to
have some
pop
backing
out.
there. They have all the 8 foot to hit, so
I think, yeah, it's not, unless it's.
he's going to probably try to get one in there 4 foot,
Yeah, I don't
put some
think.
extra
Yeah,
pressure
unless
on
you're
him.
worried. Well, wait.
Trevor said he's not worried about weight here, so feels like he knows that he played this side in his last.
Yeah, this would be pretty similar to the shot he played in the first end. The in-turn going to the button, so he'll have a pretty good idea what this does.
Leading by
It's
one
really
thanks to
holding,
his
guys. It's
steal and a
heavy.
beautiful draw on his first. Trevor Bonneau is looking to add to that here by capping off Ontario's options on their last, but this one's gliding as well, James. I'm not sure if it's going to
Get
stop.
it out of the 8 foot then.
Yeah, he's probably going to try to take that back as far as he can.
It's going to stop at the back. 12 foot.
So Mike just has the same shot here for his single point, which is not bad after the way things looked in the first two ends. Of I think Mike would be pretty happy with a 1-1 tie at this point.
8 feet less.
8 feet less, you heard him say. Not too much sweeping on either of those shots, so they shouldn't be too much different. Mike McLean and his final stone of the second end.
Yep.
Looking to get on the board for
Okay, just
Ontario.
play the weight. Just play the weight. Just play the weight. Yep.
Looks really close here.
It's definitely hit the
Whoa,
break
whoa, whoa.
point sooner than his last, so it should be really close. They might be able to use the backing. Oh, you don't want to go right past it. Or will that
Yes.
stop? Oh, wow.
Oh, no.
Oh, my goodness. Wow, that just
It actually curled, over curled the backing.
didn't even touch the back one. It is going to be a steal of 2.
Yes,
Wow.
that would have been hard to do.
Yeah. I mean, that is a case of how much this curls. It curled sooner, but it just had that much more. Wait, wow. So a 3-0 lead now for Northern Ontario, leading Ontario after 2 ends of play. So we have those two other games on the ice. Just to update you on the scores. Saskatchewan picked up a single in the first end against Quebec's Jean-Michel Menard, and this end has a few rocks in play, so we'll update you once we get a score there in the second. And it was Nova Scotia picking up a single in the first end on the Yukon's Terry Miller. And Nova Scotia's Craig Burgess right now sitting at 4-4. They're in the seeding pool. Those games, they're playing basically to finish their seeding for this season. It's cumulative to the previous 2 years, or with the previous 2 years, and how the province and territory, what pools they end up in for next year. Say this year, some of those pools were, well, both the pools were tough, but I mean, you had pools with a Cooey, a Menard in one. You had a guy named Grattan in another, with this Mike McLean's team finishing 5-1. So neither of the pools are easy.
No, it was kind of impressive how it worked out, because they're obviously different teams year to year, and the seeding with the pools, it ended up pretty even. Like pre-event, you look at the pools and you're saying, well, geez, which pool's harder, which pool's easier, but they were remarkably well balanced. So it's nice to see that the system works.
What is your thoughts, James, on how the pools? Well, you've been to what, 14 Briars? 13 Briars?
14 was my last one at the bubble there. Yeah,
14.
Can't be high.
So you've seen all the different formats, or at least the last few. What are your thoughts on the championship and pool? I mean, you had a pretty good year last year in the bubble.
Yeah, it's interesting to see the evolution over the years. Obviously, I've leaned towards more towards the traditional aspect, where we like to play all the teams, and when you finish a round robin, you can at least say, well, I played all the teams, and this is where I ended up, and that's how it worked out. But last year we actually changed a little bit more, and they had 3 wild card teams at the bubble in Calgary last year, and so it was a few extra games, and it actually went really well. It gives you an ample opportunity to kind of make the championship pool, and if you don't, you feel like you didn't really make it, you didn't play well enough to get there, and you kind of accept that and move on. So it is the way it is nowadays. But I'm more of a traditionalist. I like playing everybody.
And as a spectator, TV viewer at home, it makes those championship pool games just that, like, the tension in the arena is just that much more.
And you can see it here this week too. Like you can see the intensity level of some of these players have increased tenfold over the last day and a half since we've been doing this championship pool stuff. So not to say that the regular round robin wasn't, but you can see everybody's faces there this week that it's getting serious now.
A good shot there of Erica Hobson. This is the only player on the ice without national experience before this week. Erica making her first national debut. Very excited to be here. I think she's had a great week.
I think I like in.
She's a lawyer with the Department of Justice in Ottawa.
Guard, I think.
What a great event to make your debut national performance. I think we've talked to a few individuals this week. This is their first time, and it's a great one. It's a nice social event. Everybody gets to know each other, but yet you go out there and you're trying to beat each other at the same time. So it's a great event to kind of get out there for your first time. That's for sure.
Mike McCarville's first down of this third end. He's a grade 11-12 math and biology teacher.
Tough year for teachers. I was talking to Mike there in between the games, and it's been a battle across the country for those teachers. My wife's a teacher, my brother's a teacher, and just to hear the struggles, even with we all have kids about the same age, and it's been a rough year for that. So hopefully things are on the
for sure. Big thanks to
up and up. So thanks to all the teachers out there.
The McCarville household.
Yes, that's right.
The balancing act that they have to do. Krista's headed to the Tim Hortons curling trials in a week. And I'm sure is planning some time off in January in her hometown, but we'll have a big reward there with if she can make it to the Nationals for Northern Ontario They are right there in our backyard at Thunder Bay. Kevin Tippett making a hit and roll off to the wings, something that Trevor Bonneau is going to have to deal with.
Yeah, play firm though.
Yet another end when they're putting a lot of pressure on the Ontario team here. They got one short and one top button. Just going to eliminate these blue rocks for now.
I think I heard today that Mike's school, maybe a few others, will maybe had a snow day in Thunder Bay. Or at least there was quite a decent amount of snow in that region in the last couple days. So if they're watching, I know he wanted to say hello to his high school curling team that he coaches, the Falcons.
Yeah, he said he got a lot of emails in between games from this. He was on the feature game, like you said, earlier this afternoon, so he got a lot of notes from home.
Kevin Tippett, he works at Baker Tilly, Ottawa, an accounting firm, principal in their Canada-U.S. cross-border tax practice, and that is a sponsor of this team, big supporter of them.
Hard! Hard! Stay
Really
on it! Stay on it!
here.
Stay on it!
Gets by the guard.
Okay.
Taps back, shot stone. Great shot by Kevin.
Great shot by Kevin there.
Feel.
Jackie McCormick, she's an audiologist. She owns and operates her own private hearing clinic up in Fort Francis, Ontario. Frequency Hearing Center. Run back. Keeps it all in line.
Still a great shot there. I know she jammed at the back four, but she's left her rock top four in a great spot. It's going to be tough for Mike to maneuver around that.
Which way do you like? You can come either. Okay.
The Ontario third, Erin Morrissey. She works at the Bank of Canada as a strategy and business management analyst.
Line's a little tight. Yep.
A very well-respected curler at the Ottawa Curling Club and across Ontario. Always a joy to play against Erin. I sometimes get to play her in the Ottawa Wednesday nights. She's a lot of fun.
Yep. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Pretty good making a shot maker too.
Yes, apparently. Look at that.
Great shot.
Great shot.
Follow it down or play the little tap. I think the straight draw is easier. T-line.
Going to be tough here. A lot of all the focus in this end is around the center guard at this point, so Mike's going to have to find a way to generate a few points around the lonely center guard here.
Wait only. Then go.
Open for some breaks.
Hard.
Sweepers haven't given up yet on this one. Big sweep to get it there.
Hard, Mike, go. Hard line. Hard.
Great shot of those two.
Really good.
I mean, this is a long week. 2 games, tough games today. Got to be feeling it in those shoulders and arms at this point of the week, especially early in the season. I mean, you may have had your provincials, but this is a lot more.
This is a long week.
Yeah.
Yeah. And even those one-game days are tough. Like mentally, we've been lucky. We've been playing our games at 2 o'clock in the afternoon on our one-game days. So it's a long time in the hotel when you're waiting around for a night game.
Ontario sitting shot stone, back button.
Yep. Okay, whoa. Yep. Whoa.
Her
That's going to bump.
Okay.
Still Ontario with shots down.
Out there long enough. I think we can get the better.
A couple options here for Mike, or for Northern Ontario, I should say. Tap his own, leave it frozen on the button, and really make it tough for Ontario here. But
Might be smarter up 3, eh?
Maybe.
But he also doesn't like the location of that blue rock that Aaron just threw either, so it'd be not a bad option to maybe remove that and kind of roll into the
Or hit the
pile at
blue.
this point.
Hit it. I can't hear you.
Here, so you heard Mike say he was thinking the hit, but he doesn't mind the tap either.
I think this is the good call. You want to keep track of that control zone top 4 foot there. You're just shrinking the scoring area for Ontario and Mike McLean at this point. So a little nose hit, a little roll to the middle here makes it really tough on Ontario at this point.
Yeah, roll it like into the pocket.
So he wants to get to the inside of this blue stone and roll into this pocket. Trevor Bonneau, he's a financial advisor with Edward Jones in Thunder Bay. Big Colleen Jones fan. I noticed he was chewing gum in the hat. Definitely his curling idol.
Oh, there's a great shot. Look at those two red ones lined up right now on that blue rock. It just makes it super tough for Ontario to get in there for a second point.
That is come here, and if we can, we might even be able to go
Great
touch
shot
that
there by
first.
Trevor.
I think you have to with just back 4 weight.
Very patient in by Trevor.
enough?
He's
Back 8?
he had a couple opportunities to get shot rock here, but he just knows that those red rocks are better placed where they are at the moment in the top 4. It just makes Ontario's job a little tough to get in there.
Can we hit that first and move that? I don't know what that weight. Maybe kind of crotch them, eh? We'll probably just push that to there. Might not be too bad. We'll try it. Yeah.
Good discussion by the
Why not? A little more.
back end on Ontario, what their options are.
No, that's Kevin's was real.
Really needs to try to get to the inside of this rock. Just tap it back 8, back 4. Get a little inch roll inside just to kind of make it super tough on Northern Ontario here. They're lined up pretty good on that one on the back,
The angles are
back
not
button
good.
right now.
We actually want to try to touch the one on the inside, in the middle. Back 8. Okay. Back 8.
Back 8, you hear Mike say a couple times, is the weight choice. Mike McLean, an engineer in Ottawa.
Yep, line.
This is his second national mixed national championship.
Hard.
Represented Ontario in
Hard.
Toronto a few years ago.
Real hard. It's gone.
This is curling.
This is all over the front one.
Yep, hard.
You want to line them up at this
Move it.
point. You never want to give up on these. You always want to find a way to make it beneficial. I think he did.
Was that
There's a
that
real
light?
chance here now.
Just that heavy?
Difference between
On this side, it would have been okay. This is like
Well, Northern Ontario
Okay.
had hammer a lot in the last game.
Yeah, seven
Might have a
times
chance
out of
here
8.
to
Yeah.
keep playing without hammer in this game if they can pull off a nice bump here and maybe steal a point.
There's a 2 rock.
Trevor's really good at throwing that big weight, so this might be one of those opportunities where you hit that red one high side and get rid of both of those blue ones in the back 4 foot. You could be lying 3 buried after he's done with this, so
Oh, Mike's. Yeah.
I was really impressed with Trevor's
Mike's
big
flies
weight
really
ability in
nice.
the last game we played. He throws them like laser beams down here, so this will be really close to...
No, 'cause you were.
And I thought he used to had a backswing. Did we see that in your game?
I didn't quite catch it, but I just know they were coming really fast.
I think maybe he did at one point. I've seen him play at Bondsville before, and I thought he had a backswing, so maybe he eliminated that. But either way, a big chance here with big
Yes.
weight. He's pretty accurate at
Backswinger or
it.
not,
Yeah.
This looks really close.
Straight.
Really close.
This is going to be good.
They both go. Northern Ontario will sit 1, 2, and 3. Great shot by the skip from Thunder Bay.
A little unlucky with that red one spinning out in the open. It gives Mike a chance to kind of use it to get his point here. I think he would have liked to have hit a little thinner and just stuck it right in behind all the pile, but I think he's pretty happy with the way this end has gone so far. Forcing Ontario to one here is probably plan A.
Great replay there to see that.
Okay, just nose it.
Great shot.
Ontario's Mike McLean looking to get on the board with a nose hit in this third end. Doesn't want to roll to the left at all. Pretty close.
Great shot.
That's right on the nose. And Ontario picks up a single. It's a 3-1 Northern Ontario lead as we head to the fourth end. Once again, joined in the booth this evening with James Grattan, the skip of Team New Brunswick. James, you're 6-2 in this event. You're sitting in third place right now in those standings that we're looking at in front of us. You got a couple tough games coming up tomorrow to finish off the championship pool. How are you guys looking at tomorrow's matchups?
Well, this will be our first two-game day in a little while, so we're kind of looking forward to getting actually back in the Spiel. We've had a lot of time off the last couple days, so it'd be nice to kind of get out there and get things rolling, hopefully into the playoffs. Got a great game in the first game against Jamie Cooey that we're looking forward to. Always some great battles over the years with Jamie, so I'm looking forward to that one. It's one of those ones where you sit around at the beginning of the week and you circle saying that one's going to be a good one and going to be a lot of fun. So we're looking forward to it. We probably played our best game of the week there a little earlier, so we're feeling pretty good going into that.
The two of you combined for 27 Brier appearances.
You added it up, did you?
Yeah.
Great. Over and off.
Dating back to, Jamie's first was in 2006.
Okay, I got a few years on him,
Okay,
I think.
I won't say. I think I did in your broadcast say when you were
Oh, did you? Of course, yeah.
It's out there. But yeah, it should be a dandy tomorrow afternoon. That's 2 p.m. is your game tomorrow. Our feature tomorrow afternoon is Manitoba, BC. We'll keep you updated. Of course, you can go to curling.ca/scoreboard. The feature tomorrow night to close out the championship pool. You'll be taking on Alex Forrest and his Manitoba rank. They're 4-4 right now.
Line should be close.
Should be good to.
I think I was forewarned. We had lunch with John Morris here at the club there in between games, so he warned me that he might be joining you guys in the booth for that game. So yeah,
I'm looking forward to all the patch stories that John Morris might have to tell.
Yeah. I thought we made an agreement not to talk about those kind of things.
So rocks in play to start this fourth end. There's been no shortage of them for this game.
This is good.
It's a good chance for Mike here to get back. He doesn't have hammer now for the first time in the game. He gets to throw two guards, and Trevor's not allowed to touch him. So hopefully he's going to try to generate some offense and kind of do what Trevor did to him from the first three ends. Erica put a good
Over
one
curling.
Good center guard there in her first one, so she's looking for another one here.
Ontario's looking to win their fifth national mixed championship. The last time Ontario won was back in 2018. Ontario's Mike Anderson won in Swan River. Went on to win World Gold in, I believe that was in Kelowna with that team. Northern Ontario has won 4 championships, and their last one, again, not too long ago, 2017, it was a guy named Trevor Bonneau with Jackie McCormick, his sister, at third. So great chance for these provinces to get their province back on the trophy.
Need help?
A lot of work to do in both the championship pool, though, and if they get to the playoffs. Playoff structure, by the way, it is the top 4 teams. First place plays 4th. And second place, 3rd. Loser of those games plays for bronze on Sunday afternoon. Winners go on to the bronze medal game Sunday here in Canmore. And of course, the winner goes on to Aberdeen, Scotland for a chance to represent Canada next October at the World Mixed Championship, which is a fairly new world championship that's been added. Canada will be looking to win. It's been pretty good success winning the last 2 gold medals there.
weight. Got room. Looks like a ton of weight.
This has gotten out there in the wide path that seems to be a little faster and kind of fooling people all week, and it looks like it might have fooled Kevin on this one, but
That one's sliding.
Sliding, yeah.
Kevin's played, I think, a lot of hits more in this game, so his first draw down there.
That. I like this. I don't mind this, yeah. Is that what you're saying? Yeah, oh yeah, that can. Okay. It's pretty long, just a little bit high.
Yeah, Trevor's going to try to clean up the front here a little bit. He doesn't want to have any action around these center guards at this point in time. Things have been going well for him, so he's going to try to keep it as open as possible. Just make sure he doesn't give up any steals at this point.
Yep. Whoa. Yep, yep. Whoa, whoa.
So 2 guards will stay up there, a little off center.
Two guards will stay, but I think they'll be happy with that. They're both off the center line, kind of opens things up a little bit. He just wants to have a path to the forefoot here at the end and make sure he, like you said, you got to stay away from those steals at this point. You're up 3-1 with hammer. I think the only thing that's going to hurt Trevor and them at this point are steals. So I think he's happy with the way this end has gone so far.
Yeah, we can hit. You want to do that? Okay. Throw, board.
Kevin Tippett
Yep.
asked to play
Hard.
board weight hit.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yep. Yep.
Great shot.
Fine.
Those are the shots talked about in the first end, that these teams manage their weight well on hits to keep their shooter in good positions, not to up their weight and roll out or roll too far.
Yeah, those are the ones that are really weight sensitive. I find if you're a little heavy, they kind of run on you a little bit, and if you're a little down on the weight, you really got to fight to get by those guards. So Kevin threw that really well.
Jackie McCormick being asked to directionally sweep this into that rock. Makes it. So Mike McCormick-Stone will be shot rock. That's right, Mike McCormick.
I hope you're okay with that, Noel, because I thought if it ever came up with a little less weight, we might just tick it.
You talked about your girl with
just in
Jamie
the middle
and
there.
your team in men's. Trevor and Mike also play men's together, competitive team, so familiar with his teammates.
Yeah, that definitely helps. I know with Jamie and I, we have our own weight signals on our team and those kind of things, so he's able to kind of relay that to the girls. I think sometimes when I'm just out of habit just calling my weight shots, and so he's having to be the interpreter down at the other end sometimes. So it's nice to have that familiarity with your teammates out there, and especially in a group that you don't normally play with on a regular basis. But I think Trevor's team, I get the feeling that they've played a few mixed games together. So, so I think they're probably one up on the rest of us as far as that's concerned.
Whoa, Mike.
Jackie wanted to give a shout out to her husband, Andy McCormick, who's holding down the fort while she's gone.
Get out.
Come on.
Again,
Is it?
talked about.
Well, it might be. I don't know if that was close. That might be in still, I think.
Talked about the McCarville family having a busy household. They also have a lot of drop-offs, hockey games they got to get their kids to.
Yeah.
Well, wait. Okay. Whoa.
Hobson
Yeah,
saying
go,
it's
Kevin.
a little up weight from what Mike called for Aaron's throw.
Real hard. Whoa, whoa, whoa. That's fine. Yep.
She'll hit,
Whoa,
get
no,
the
that's good,
roll.
that's good.
have to mention this because we asked the players to send us some info, random facts, things they wanted to know. Jackie told us as one of her favorite things is her favorite snack is popcorn. She said, I know I'm grasping at straws at this, and I have to mention it because one of the big sponsors of this event is Mary's Popcorn Shop.
Yes,
so,
that's right.
Yeah, when you get to some good downtime at this event, I'm sure Jackie's checked it out. Big thanks to Mary's Popcorn Shop.
Mike.
That's one of her random facts she wanted us to know.
Her eyes probably lit up when she saw that on the sponsor board.
I know we bribed you with some Canmore Brewery and Distillery products to get you in the booth tonight, James. So big thanks to them for sponsoring. We also have Tourism Canmore Kananaskis, Visions Electronics, Canmore Golf and Curling Club, of course, been a fabulous host this week. Rome Transit, been shuttling around folks at the event. Talked about Canmore Brewery and Distillery. I think we have some orders coming by. Canmore Raft Tours, El Taquino Tequila, Golf Design Services Limited, and Moosehead Breweries as well. So big thanks to these local sponsors. It's been a tough year for local businesses from across the country, but they've stepped up for this event and the cancellation of it last year here, but still going ahead with it this year. So really big thanks to the small businesses for chipping in and helping you guys have a good time.
And I got to say, curlers are really good about supporting those kind of things. We definitely, every event we go to, we look down the list and see who's supporting our event, and we go out of our way to frequent those establishments and take advantage of what they have to offer. So it's been, and Canmore's been great as far as that's concerned. So it's been, it's been amazing.
Mike needs this to curl to get a piece of it. Hobson trying to direct it over. I think they might have a.
Maybe not.
Wow. It's a big miss there.
Just a little heavy. I think you probably would have wanted board weight there, and that seemed a little bit. That was what I was mentioning earlier, where if you just up your weight a little bit, you'll see it run.
Yeah, Mike looked pretty confused after that.
Even if we top it,
Not too sure what happened.
Top her off or something, eh? So, I was
A
giving
chance
this for man
to force Ontario, or sorry, Northern Ontario having hammer this in. Sorry, good opportunity to
even top
deuce.
8 weight.
It's one of those things where that little biter on the outside is kind of coming into play now. He's going to try to come down and maybe tap his own. If Mike's looking at might have a double, and then the little biter becomes more important.
Take a little bit less.
He's going to try to probably get to the inside, and as Colleen Jones used to say, a little Christmas tree action here to kind of make it real tough on Mike to make a double.
It's curling idol.
Yes, we're going to throw that in there when we can.
Colleen has her name.
It's a great idol to have, that's for sure.
She's got her name on this trophy along with a few other trophies.
Pretty much every trophy there is, I think.
Hard, every inch. Switch.
Trying to put up the red Christmas tree here.
It's not curling for him right now, so I think Mike might have a chance to kind of rectify his first shot with a nose-hit double here.
Huh.
Sorry.
I think they're a little perplexed on that one as well, as why that didn't curl. So a little nose hit here, and then, like I said, that biter is going to come into play. They're going to have a little look at it here. It's the difference between getting forced to one and a blank at this point.
Can't quite see it in that one shot, but there is that long guard up there, but shouldn't be a factor for this. If it is a factor, you're definitely not going to make the doubles.
That's right.
The blue one, but Mike McLean is final stone.
Yep.
Northern Ontario having hammer.
Hard.
Really got to go to get two. This one's taken off. And that's going to overcurl on him.
Yeah, he won't be happy with that one. Just kind of curled out of his hand early. And I know when it bites when it grabs the center line, it really curls. So I think that's might have been a little tight on that one. So an open draw to the little better than full 12 for 2 here for Northern Ontario to go up 5-1 after the fourth end going into the break. That's a pretty comfortable scoreboard for them.
Trevor Bonneau with his final stone needs a good part of the 12-foot. Like to see the button here. You have the whole side to work with.
Take a look, guys. Really
should be close. He just threw it on his first rock. Looks like a great shot coming in here.
14-9, so should be pretty close.
Okay, you're good.
That will be 2 for Northern Ontario. They'll jump out to a 5-1 lead after 4 ends. Stay with us. We'll be back after the break. Darren McEwen alongside New Brunswick's James Grattan as we call this Draw 20 action from the 2021 Canadian Mixed Curling Championships. Northern Ontario versus Ontario. We'll be right back.
One might say I was born to overcome challenges. 2 months premature, in and out of the hospital, and a heart condition. My parents call me their miracle baby. As with all survivors, I searched for my place in this world, and I found it here. This pebbled ice is where I battle now, and at only 12, I am already a 5-year veteran of this sport. I have my sights set on the Olympics. I will push hard to get there. The only size that matters in this sport is the size of your dreams.
Sweep! Sweep! Hurry! Hurry! Hard! Hurry hard! Hard! Hurry hard! 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 Yeah! We should really be curling.
This ice is everything. It's where I come to feel close to her, to feel whole. This building helped raise me when my mother no longer could. When I step on the ice, she steps with me. My dad is my rock. We're a team now, like the 4 of us when we step on the ice. People say that this isn't a contact sport, but that's not true. It contacts you where you need it the most.
The game with the the ice, and the rocks, and the sweeping, and the yelling. Each game starts with a handshake. Then, 2 teams of 4 people take turns throwing 44-pound stones down a sheet of ice. Each team throws 8 rocks, and the team closest to the center after all the rocks are thrown will score the points. This process is repeated for 6 to 10 rounds until one team is victorious. It's just that simple. Or is it?
In the Battle of Ontario, it's Northern Ontario with a 5-1 advantage as we come back after the 4th end break. Draw 20 coverage of the 2021 Canadian Mixed Curling Championship. Darren McEwen alongside New Brunswick's James Grattan. James, it's been Northern Ontario advantage on the scoreboard. If you were coaching or skipping, what would you tell Trevor Bonneau's team at the break?
Well, it's pretty simple for those guys at this point. They're just
Starting
trying
to curl
to
now.
keep doing what they're doing. They're putting the pressure on Ontario at this point. Every end, it seems that
Top 4 though.
degree of difficulty is
Go.
in the hands of Ontario right now. So they're doing their job pretty effectively right now, keeping the pressure on
Now the
Ontario
test,
and
see
Mike
if she can do it
McLean.
again.
And for Ontario, I'd just say get a couple guards up there, start piling up, making it more complicated for Mike at this point. He's going to try to basically hit everything the other color at this point. And there's only 4 more ends left in the game, so he's just trying to bide his time until that 8th end. And even though it's a 5-1 lead and a 4-point advantage right now, I think even in Trevor Bonneau's mind right now, he just wants to be up by a couple with hammer in the last end. So he's just going to try to maintain control of this game.
Ontario's lead, Erica Hobson, asked to play the corner guard. Ontario with a 6-2 record at this point in the tournament.
Right on it.
There's a good corner guard, so they're just trying to get some guards up there early, and Trevor Bonneau's going to try to complicate the front as much as possible, so they eventually have to come to the middle in order to score any points at this point.
Northern Ontario's Amanda Gates, they have a 5-3 record coming into this, having dropped their last 2 games. Good start to this one, though. We have 2 other games on the ice tonight. The championship pool game on this sheet next to us. It's Quebec leading 3-2 after Jean-Michel Menard made a draw to the 8-foot for his deuce in the 4th end. Quebec sitting at 6-2, so both these teams here on sheet A trying not to scoreboard watch over their shoulder, but that game is pretty important. But the guy beside me also very curious to see how that game goes too. Saskatchewan's Dean Grindheim has dropped a couple games in this championship pool. He's now at 4-4. And then we have a seeding pool game over on sheet C. It's all locked at 4 points apiece to Nova Scotia's Craig Burgess, and he's taking on Yukon's Terry Miller. Great shot here by Erica Hobson on our feature.
Yeah, that's an interesting game. Those 2 teams, Quebec and Saskatchewan, we've played them both this week, and we were kind of squeaked out wins in both of those games, and 2 really solid teams. I was really impressed with the Saskatchewan team, and they were in our pool in the round robin and played really, really well. The skip, Mr. Grindheim, told me that in the 2018 Brier in Regina, his son was actually our junior star at the Brier, and I got a chance to meet him actually this week. He's about 1.5 foot taller than the last time I saw him.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, we apparently gave him a shirt and a broom, and it was great to see him.
Oh, that's really cool. I've seen a few players who have that connection and end up playing with people
That's right.
mentors too around.
Yeah, I think it was the 3rd end of our game I was playing him, and he said, "Yeah, my son was your junior star in the Regina Brier," and I think it was 2018.
Oh wow!
And yeah, it was great. And he was up here. He was watching. I think he caught it at the end of our game, and was here for a few days. He's playing in the Spiel himself this week, so I wish him luck. I think, I think he said he was in Sherwood playing.
Cool.
Junior Spiel.
Kevin Tippett, he's played with other members of this event. He was, as we already mentioned, a native of New Brunswick. He played with Jamie Newson, who's skipping the Prince Edward Island team here in juniors. And Kevin actually would have played, I believe, one of the juniors, possibly against John Morris.
That's probably the age would match up pretty close, yeah.
Kevin's a father of 3. His accomplishments, he told us, include getting through COVID with 3 kids, including a newborn. Saw some of them here earlier this week.
I definitely would give him a check mark for that.
Mike McCarville trying to make a big peel here.
Just continues to be great setup by Northern Ontario at this point. Those 3 red rocks, as you can see, are just perfect spots. So it's making it really tough on Ontario at this point to get anything going. Just keep putting things in the right places. This whole game has been like that. Amanda's been putting them in great spots.
Yep. Yep. Hard. Real hard line. Real hard. Keep going, keep
Hobson
going.
and Morrissey
hard,
on the brush. Try and wrap it around. They'll just wick off it.
Just a little light there. Great shot. Like I said, Trevor's just going to try to eliminate all the blue rocks at this point and try to outnumber them for the rest of the end. I think at this point he's not even going to care too much if he catches a little bit of those ones on the top 4 foot there. He's just trying to make it as easy as possible on himself.
Jackie McCormick, one of the few in this event who's won it before.
Really gotta go.
Of course, with her brother Trevor.
Go.
One of those other people is on that sheet beside us, Jean-Michel Menard.
Yeah, that works.
Great shot.
Great hit and roll. Northern Ontario now sitting 2 at least. It's close for third shot.
It's either same thing again, or we can do it on this one. I don't think that's very good. They'll just run it back, or they'll have a double. Okay, try it again.
Yeah, I think it was a good call on Kevin's shot to play this shot, and I still think it's an equally good call to be playing it on Aaron's first here. So they need to do something with those ones in the top 4 foot just to kind of open up the scoring area a little bit.
Erin Morrissey making her second national championship appearance. First time was as a junior representing Ontario.
Whoa, no. Whoa. Yep. Whoa.
Really good shot here.
Hard. It's light. Okay.
Just a little tiny bounce.
Just might have curled too much for her. It's just depends if Trevor wants to get that out of there at this point in time, or just kind of roll in off this one on the wide side here and just roll into the pile at this point. Once again, you're just trying to clog up the area here to try to shrink the scoring area for Ontario.
Whoa, close. Whoa, Amanda
Gates being asked to make this one curl. Little inside roll. Jackie gets in for third shot. Great shot.
At this point in time, it's just execution. Just Northern Ontario's playing really well at this point.
Stop. Same weight.
Same weight here. Just going to kind of tap things around, trying to change the angles just to try to get a better look at it here for the blue rocks at this point. Or try try to open up the area here a little bit to kind of sneak a few in there.
Hey, whoa.
At this point in time, it doesn't look like a blank end, so and 1 point's not good enough for Ontario at this point. So they're going to try to open that up, try to get room to get a couple rocks in there.
Bend it.
There's a shortage of granite in that control zone right now.
No.
Smash that into that.
Pretty good shot there. It's going to be tough to remove any of those blue ones at this point in time. So just going to try to get rid of one of them just by hitting half of that one at the top 12 to try to get that one out of the blue one top 8 foot.
We could also guard.
We're talking about the possible guard. Looking at this, it's like a mixed double. It's just missing a guard to be a mixed doubles.
Yeah,
now.
that's right.
I know Trevor and Amanda play together as a team.
Yeah, let's have them have a look.
It'll be a timeout here, I think.
Yeah. First time out of this game, Northern Ontario calls it. They get 2 90-second timeouts, so good discussion. Saw it in the game against your team, James. There was a couple timeouts, good discussion between the team. They were all buying into the strategy.
Yeah, I think he has a choice here to just be, he's up 5-1 on the scoreboard, so plan A is kind of getting rid of as many blue rocks as you can, but it's a good chance to be here to stay aggressive and put some extra pressure on Mike McLean and his rink from Ontario. So this will be a good discussion.
Yeah, I think your shooter's gone. This is here. That's gone. That looks pretty good, right? Yeah, that's what we're saying. Yeah,
I think you'll see him lean towards the hit here. The scoreboard kind of dictates this call as being.
Yes, I think it's better.
A little smarter to probably hit half that.
The only reason I thought that is because you can't get rid of both of our shot. I know it's tough to. And I'm gonna throw Peel.
Peel weight is the call.
And he throws this so well too. Good call. 5-1 on the scoreboard. It's never a bad call to try to remove some blue rocks.
Skip stones here in the fifth end. Touched almost all of them.
That's really good.
Yeah.
He likes it.
Great shot.
To there.
Got rid of a blue rock, left the only blue rock in play wide open at this point. Mike McLean, his second shot. So he has to deal with that red rock right now in order to try to set up his a multiple score here.
If you're Ontario, what are you thinking here, James?
Off the roll.
Well, you're trying not to set up a double at this point, so you're just trying to find any way possible to not do that. So I think he's going to probably try to freeze maybe on his own. Realistically, you're only looking at maybe scoring 2 points here.
I don't know what it might really take off
the
center line, but
the one he's throwing right now unremovable.
A little less, or a little more.
I think you'll see him kind of just come down, maybe even tap his own blue rock back. And like I said, just not set up a double for Trevor Bonnell.
Tap it back 4 and a little flop over. Like tap it behind the red, and then we'll roll on top of there. 8.
Mike McLean looking to score.
They said back house here, so it might be a little too much at this point.
Yep.
And to generate 2 points.
Hard on there, blue.
Haven't been able to put a multiple on the board this game. Weren't able to score last game. So
roll the shooter.
Right out there. You get out of there. Out of the
swing the momentum.
Out of the 8 foot.
That's going to go to the back 8.
Okay.
Just a little too much weight there.
But off this, I think, is okay too.
As you can see, if he just Trevor just hits us on the high side, he gets rid of the blue. He's going to lose his red one in behind it here, but he's going to be lying 3 at the end of this shot. And once again, plan A for Northern Ontario and Trevor Bonnell was to force Mike McLean into a single here and have Hammer coming home in the 6th end.
Without Hammer, final stone for the skip from Thunder Bay.
Whoa.
Nothing yet. Just trying to make it come back. Almost picked it clean. Hard to do.
Great shot.
That's better.
He throws that
right,
big
draw, I
weight
guess.
really well, so it was right in his comfort zone there.
He's a world silver medalist in this discipline.
So a draw to the full 4-foot here for Ontario to get their single point. Well, I guess he needs half the 4-foot here.
90 here? Okay.
Facing 3, Ontario needs to find, as James said, a half of the 4-foot. Nothing to it yet from Hobson and Tippett.
No brushes down yet.
13-9, so it might be a little strong to be shot, but we've seen a couple dig in at the last minute. Will this one? McCormick leaning on the broom. It looks like it's did. It's, I think, one for Ontario.
Yes.
Oof, nervous minutes there for Ontario, but Mike McLean gets a single. It's 5-2 as we head to the 6th end. Northern Ontario will have hammer. James, we've talked about Team Grattan's plans for the rest of this weekend. What about the men's Team of Grattan? I know a lot of people are curious. They saw you last year in the bubble, have a pretty good run there. You guys competing this year for a chance to get back to the Brier?
Yeah, we've played a couple spiels back home, just kind of local spiels at this point early in the season. We played one in our home area in Fredericton, New Brunswick, and we played another one in Moncton, New Brunswick. And we were lucky enough to kind of sneak into the playoffs in both of those, and came out with some 2 cash spiel wins so far. So far so good. But we have another one week after this in Charlevoix, Quebec. So I'm really looking forward to that one. It's one of my favorite events on our tour.
Tight.
We usually try to go to overseas to Switzerland and play a tournament over there. It's sometimes easier for us to kind of go that direction than it is come out west. But this,
leave
this
this one
week has kind of put a kibosh on that kind of those kind of plans.
Finish it.
Much
Right
to the chagrin of the other 2 players on our team.
I'm sure they're watching.
Yeah, they're very bitter at some points, but they're cheering us on. We're getting lots of messages from all of them. It's been great. We actually had a trivia night at my home club tonight. I'd like to give a shout out to everybody back at the Gage Golf and Curling Association in Oromocto, New Brunswick, and the CWC Curling Club in Fredericton. It's been tremendous, the support we've gotten from all those folks.
Probably run really good here.
It's Vic Ratter's favorite town.
Oromocto, New Brunswick, yes. Yeah. We sent him out, our local fire department sent him a few shirts with Oromocto written right across the front of it, so he wears them proudly, he tells me, so that's great.
Someone needs to find something to dig into. Amanda Gates' first stone is a little bit strong.
Okay.
It'll slip through the back. Still in play, but out of the house.
Kind of jinxed her there. She's been setting up all the ends just perfectly, but I'm sure they'll forgive her on just that one.
Erica Hobson told us her favorite shot to play. This shot, in turn drop. So
here we go.
Here we go.
No pressure.
Yeah. You jinxed Northern Ontario. I may have jinxed Ontario.
Yeah, that's fair. Let's see how this one works out.
All you guys. Right here.
Just calling for a 3 on this.
Aaron in. Yep. Go. Hard. Keep going.
Right where Mike wanted that one.
Perfect. 2 perfect shots there by Erica, actually.
Top 8.
Lots of separation. Really tough to make a double on those 2. So Mike's going to switch gears here and try to put one in a spot where they got to chase it here eventually. So.
The line's pretty close. Yep.
Amanda wanted to give a big shout out to her parents. They put her into curling. I know she's a familiar face at a number of national championships, and her sister Jen Gates as well. They very influential in both their careers. Very good careers they've had. Amanda, I believe, is one of the few players to actually play every position at a national championship. So
wow.
It's got to be pretty rare. Even to get to a national championship in a place like Northern Ontario, but anywhere really, and to play every position. It's
it's nice to have a wealth of experience like that as a player, especially playing lead on your team.
Yeah, she was also an alternate too for I believe at a Scotties when it was still Ontario.
Line's nice.
The women.
Yep.
Gotta be right here.
After that as well, and I mean she's a very good alternate.
Real hard.
Keeps the team spirits high. I mean, she's really good at
She's
scouting.
a really positive person.
Yeah.
We said we had a chance to sit with them after the last game there.
Great sweeping, guys.
First time I got a chance to talk to her. She's a very positive attitude.
Kevin Tippett wrapped a beautiful draw around that
shot. Almost buried. That rock, that top 8-foot rock is, and now he's top 4 and dead buried. So that tells you how great the ice conditions here are this week.
Yep. Throw.
So you're just seeing Northern Ontario just kind of eliminating those front rocks at this point, trying to open things up and give Trevor a shot for one here on his last one. He's not looking to score multiple points at this point. He's just trying to keep it open up and just score here. And 6 would be a plan A for them.
A reset there by Kevin.
It's the one. Let it sit.
Ontario's next game in this championship pool's tomorrow at 2 p.m. They'll play Jean-Michel Bernard, a player that Mike McLean has played a number of times. Jean-Michel also plays at the Ottawa Curling Club in a cash league there, so lives in Quebec, but comes across the border for a pretty good event, or a pretty good league.
Yeah, either or.
But it will be, it doesn't get any easier as you get deeper into this championship pool, tomorrow being their last championship pool game.
Yep.
Another peel, similar spot, a little higher.
Ooh. Just kind of got it out of the way.
Mike looks a little confused by that.
Yeah, they didn't seem too panicked about that one, actually. So it got it out of the middle, but it does kind of block off that in-turn draw path for Trevor on his last shot. So he's kind of looking at the out-turn as his only option to maybe score here. So Ontario's going to kind of continue to kind of plug up that front and make it complicated.
Yep. Hard line. Real hard.
This one's going early, though, for Aaron Morrissey.
Got to work to get this over.
Over and off.
Hobson and Tippett really trying to push this. They got it. Oh, not quite. So
maybe no.
Tough one.
That's a tough one because you kind of got a little break on the last shot for Northern Ontario here, so it would be nice to kind of get another one up there. But like I said, you're going to see Trevor kind of moving those front rocks around. I must admit, I'm kind of watching a little bit of that other championship pool game on Sheet B here as well. Great game between Saskatchewan and Quebec, tied 3-3, playing 6 at this point.
Amanda.
Got a curl.
Whoa.
They're by. Oof. Where's that going to stop? Is it going to stay in the house? Oh, that spins out, or stays out. And there is, the other one did stay, you see in the bottom right of your screen. So Northern Ontario is sitting second shot, but Ontario has a chance now in this end to put some pressure on Northern Ontario. Maybe kind of the first time this game we've seen that.
Yes, that's seems to be them directing traffic at the moment. So Aaron's going to try to put a good guard on this one. Just double guarded at this point. You're going to see Northern Ontario just kind of make some more peels here. Hopefully,
over curling.
They're hoping for a little setup of a double, to leave a double peel here, but looks like Aaron's put a good one up there. It's going to be really tough to do that. Great shot.
Yeah, really good result after hogging her first one.
She's giggling. Once again, another one with a lot of positivity out there.
Yeah, I've played against Aaron. And yeah, she's great.
Doesn't hang on to that the first shot mistake. this one's got a curl.
Want a piece of it. What do they got? Thin. We'll get rid of both guards. Shooter will stay up there just above the Canmore Brewery and Distillery Tours logo, but Ontario still sits shot rock, top of the button, guarded.
How's the speed here?
It's going to be, we're down to Skips Rocks here now. It's going to be interesting because Mike looks like he has a good opportunity to steal one here, but I'm not sure he's going to be happy with one. It'll be interesting to see if maybe he'll throw a guard on his first one.
Speed's real good here.
But his next one, I think you might see him play a draw in here to try to lie two.
Yeah. We were talking at the break off air, James, about the paths of the ice. And at the break, this side of the sheet was used more.
Yes.
And we saw Mike in kind of one of the key shots of this game in the second end where he was a bit heavy and it just over-curled as well, giving up a steal of two.
Oh, right off.
This is pretty out there right now.
Yeah, it's got to get off that red guard at this point.
You'll see it come into the picture here soon. Should break once it really needs to get over there.
Yeah, he's not going to be happy with that. He's going to leave Trevor an opportunity just to run back that blue.
Where I might have a double for
make the blue double right now.
Guards it or misses a guard.
There's been a few shots tonight that Mike has thrown and just you can just see in his body language. He's not quite sure if it's the ice, the rocks, or what.
Yeah, he just seems a little confused there. And that one seemed to be, it seemed like he was close on the weight. It just seemed maybe too much ice there.
Make him make the decision if he's going to go sit two or put it back.
Yeah, there you go.
And then he's got to play the other turn, and that's hard to guard.
So I thought he'd play the straight back double. It looks like a lot of ice here, but
so I think he's just peeling.
Maybe just peeling here, yeah.
I heard him say he wants to see what Mike will do. Trevor Bonneau is first stone with hammer, up 3 on the 6th end.
Whoa! Yep!
Straight peel on this.
Makes the watch the back one. Nope, there you got it. Yeah, I guess that was a good call because if he ever tries a double and try to stuffs it, then Mike gives Mike a chance to kind of come around and lie two buried. So I don't think Trevor at this point is too worried about giving up two.
Do you have any idea what the speed is here?
Looks like Mike's decided to come in there and, like we said earlier, kind of Christmas tree at top 8 foot. Leave maybe Trevor to see half that one on the top of the button. Make it tough.
You think it's faster here? A lot faster here? No. Yeah. We want it like tighter in. Yeah. Yeah. So like I wasn't tight on that one.
Okay. I think I heard Erica say it's slightly slower here. A well-played end by Ontario here, even though they've had a couple misses, but they've capitalized when they need to.
Whoa,
see what Mike can do in his last.
Whoa! Whoa, 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 whoa.
Looks like he was playing a guard, but bringing him in there. So Trevor's got a little biter at the back 12 there off to the side.
Yeah.
He's got to watch out for the jam here a little bit, but he'll be playing the double here.
Hair center line side. Firm.
Just off the nose. A little roll to the broom side here, and he probably has a double opportunity to score 2.
Worst case, you give up a steal of 1.
Yeah, I don't think he'd be heartbroken either way, but it's a good opportunity to put the game
for sure.
in his column.
Trevor Bonneau with his final stone of the 6th end, facing 2 Ontario counters, looking to make a double. Amanda Gates trying to make this curl.
Go, go, go,
they
go,
got
go.
it. Not quite. It's a steal of 1 for the team from Ottawa, and it's a 5-3 game now. We'll go to 7. Ontario staying in this. So our other game in action, we have the seeding pool game over on far right of your screen there. You see Terry Miller and Lainey Clausen calling a timeout in their game. It's a seeding pool game. Nova Scotia leads at 8-4. The team from Truro opened up the game with a 4-ender last end. And in the middle sheet, fairly open end, I would say, for what's been going on over there with a lot of rocks in play, James. But it's tied at 3, and they're playing the 6th end. And Saskatchewan throwing blue, facing 2, and Quebec having hammer here. So our feature, though, Ontario, trying to shift the momentum and maybe got a little bit there with a nice steal of 1, but Northern Ontario still in control, up 2 with hammer playing 7. Erica Hobson will get us started. Should mention Erica shared with us as well, and I know being at the club around her, she had a pretty serious concussion that sidelined her from curling a few years ago and was unable to curl for at least one season, was impacted by it. So she says she's back to 100%, and this is her first national championship, so I'm sure a pretty emotional time for her to come back and get back on the ice, be curling 100%, make her debut at this fun event. So good for Erica to be back and sweeping her heart out in a long week here in Canmore.
Definitely one of the more excited members of our participants in this event. She's definitely taking it all in, that's for sure.
Yep. Yes.
For obvious reasons.
I know her dad, family made some trips out. Actually, she's originally from Northern Ontario. The provincials were in Windsor, Ontario. So that's from Timmins to Windsor is one of the longest drives you can make in Ontario. He drove all the way down to watch provincials, but the COVID restrictions that were put in place at the provincials meant he couldn't actually watch. So he drove all the way from Timmins to Windsor, and then they found out the last minute he couldn't watch. So he turned all the way around. Well, he made the trip out here to cheer on Erica.
Yes, that's right.
This week, so good for him. I mean,
he's a super fan.
Yeah, good for him.
Oh, good for him.
So we saw the free guard zone rule come into play there, so that rock went back.
A little wide. Just a 1.
Well, that steal of 1 and 6 definitely keeps them in the game. They're going to look for another one of those in the 7th end, and you get to throw 2 guards every end. Like in the 8th end, if you're looking to score 1 or 2 here for Ontario.
We saw in your game against Northern Ontario a real classic case of 5-rock rule discussion. They called a timeout. I think it was in the 7th end where they called a timeout because your stone had come a little short and they were looking at guarding it. But again, without 5-rock rule, that wouldn't have been a discussion because that rock, they wouldn't have mattered if they'd not guarded it. So
I have a really hard time counting to 5 sometimes out there, actually. I think in the first end or maybe 3rd end of that game, I kind of lost track of how many rocks I think I went up and called the peel in the first end.
Yeah, it used to just be lead rocks, right? Now, that's right. But I know my team as well got caught this year. We caught another team. We were all looking around, counting rocks and saying, no, I think you peeled the wrong one.
Counting to 5 is tough.
Yeah, especially last season. I mean, we had the season off. Still a fairly new rule for a lot of club curlers. You see this tick. Moves it a little bit over. Amanda's rock will...
Good attempt there, though.
Yeah. Actually hangs on at the back.
As a skip, you just love seeing those tick shots made. Like I know in the game against Northern Ontario, our lead made 2 perfect tick shots in the 8th end, and it just takes the pressure off the rest of the players and the team for the rest of the end. All you're trying to do at that point is just eliminate anything the other color, and you don't care so much, but it's so important.
1.
So can I ask you what you think of the tick?
Looks like lots.
I actually like the tick roll. I'm looking,
you like it? Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
I find it weird. I loved it today. But
you like to use the tick.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
We like to use it.
Yeah.
But it is kind of suspicious how they're kind of using the Worlds as the trial event for that. But I guess it remains to be seen how that'll work out. But
3/4.
I think it definitely makes the game more interesting.
Yeah, full credit to Jacqueline, your lead this afternoon, making both her ticks against Northern Ontario.
Yeah, that was great.
Mike McCarville, though, is going to try and make a peel on 2 of these blue Ontario stones. They're set up pretty nice to get rid of them.
He's great shot.
Yeah.
that opens up the whole end. The only blue rock is kind of in the corner guard position right now. So Trevor, like I said, is just trying to keep the forefoot open and give himself a shot for one. I think even if he scores one there, he'd be pretty comfortable with a 6-3 lead coming home. So Kevin Tippett just trying to throw a center guard, but maybe kind of hide an inch or two around that blue one that's there already, just to kind of make it a little more difficult.
Yep. Yep, hard. Real hard. Hard. Erica, finish it.
Was a deuce for Quebec in that other championship pool game, so it's 5-3 lead for Quebec on Saskatchewan. Carville again being asked for appeal, this time just the single rack.
Clean. Yep. Clean. Nada, take it out.
Loses a shooter as well.
Shot. Yeah, you see Mike McLean just trying to get a center guard up there. He's going to try to kind of almost get one half buried around that one that's probably there already and just try to make it more difficult. And he ultimately wants to get a rock on the center line in order to make it more difficult for Trevor Bonneau on his last one. Right now he's trying to use that corner guard just to hide this rock a little bit.
Play the weight, just wait. No, don't switch. Keep it going. Just stay on it.
Okay, Northern Ontario is not too worried about that one that's a corner guard position right now. They're just going to try to keep picking away at this one that's close to the middle and just try to open it up.
Should mention Northern Ontario's next game tomorrow night, 7 p.m. They'll take on Saskatchewan. It's their final championship game.
Amanda!
I'd like to go into that with breaking this little bit of a slump they're in, having lost their last two.
That works, Jackie.
Jackie McCormick helping clear things up.
Maybe one more guard by Aaron Morrissey here to try to just do what she did there in the last one. Just maybe get a little more buried around that corner guard. I think you're going to see Mike maybe come around that corner guard on his first one, just to kind of maybe outnumber Trevor on, make him look at 2 on his last shot here.
Where is it? Whoa.
This one's got a curl. It's a great shot, actually. He's half buried. A lot more complicated than it was in the first shot.
Bumper.
And you can actually use that as kind of a center guard on your next draw if it was still there in a few seconds.
Jackie wanted to give a shout out to her 2 sons, Caleb, who's age 15, and Xander, age 12. Avid fishermen, hunters, and hockey players. That is the pedigree of Northern Ontario. That is,
Yeah.
Watch roll. Good.
Mother
nice
is
shot, Jack.
Great shot there.
National champion curler. It's
What do you think?
busy family.
You missed the
Northern
double.
Ontario sitting 2.
Decision time for Mike here. He has that corner guard to work with, and he will get shot rock if he's dead buried behind that corner guard. So he's going to have to ignore those
center
2
guard,
red
and then
ones
put one here
at
on
this
last.
point.
Or put one here. Should we put one here? Do we have to
Hitting
draw in
those
the
red
house
ones
on
at
the
this point is
second
kind
one?
of
Like,
a moot point. So I think he's going to try to get one in there for shot rock at this point.
that's a hard path, too. I think center guard. And then just try to do that on my last.
Just discussing whether to throw one more center guard. Hope for a nose hit or a miss.
Is that what they opted for, James? I didn't. see.
Yeah, I think they opted for the center guard.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think the speed is here.
He had a choice between that or come around the corner guard. Trevor would have obviously gone up and peeled off the corner guard at this point, and maybe looked at 2 on his last one, but I think he'd
center guard.
Really happy with 1 point at this stage.
But what's the weight where this ice is? It's the same as where Aaron threw? Okay. Okay.
I think it's a good call here. Actually, he throws a center guard. Trevor's going to have to walk up there and peel it. And he'll still have the same option to come around the corner guard on his last shot.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. It's got to sit.
Nothing to it from Hobson and Tippett yet.
Let it sit. Let it sit. Sit.
Just shy of the house.
Good guard. Good guard. So you'll see the peel here, like we said, and then if it's made successfully, I think you'll see Mike McLean come around that corner guard to probably try to get in the full 8 foot and leave Trevor maybe a draw to the 4 foot for 1.
Trevor Bonneau, his first stone of this 7th end, leading by 2 with Hammer.
Clean.
Not surprising, they're just cleaning it all the way down. Great shot.
Trevor's been very solid on his hits this game and his draws.
Good.
So they talked this out in the previous shot of Mike's. He wants to go around the corner guard, as you said, James, and give a little bit of pressure on Northern Ontario to make their last. But really needs to make sure this is buried, or else it's going to be in for 3.
I think he can get as much as maybe a bite of the 4 foot here dead buried, and so he's going to try to eat up as much of the 4 foot here as he can, just to kind of shrink the area for Trevor on his last draw.
Mike McLean looking to wrap one around the guard.
Wait for it. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Gonna have to finish it, if anything. Just wait. Play the wait. Just
close
wait.
to wait.
That's it. Sit.
Pops out a little bit on the other side, but weight was great. And from that angle there, it looks pretty nice.
I think you'll see, I think that's pretty much as good as he could do. You can see probably 3/4 on the intern side for Trevor. Just depends on whether he wants to take it on or not.
So Mike McCarville is in the hack here, telling the back end. You can see just a little bit, he said. So with that ice, they're going to play quiet bump weight.
That really finished for Mike there, actually. I think they would have been pretty happy with that at the top of the house. Just really curled.
Yeah, rock higher.
Maybe top of the house to the tee line there.
Yeah,
and Mike was hoping for maybe a rock higher, but you heard him say that to Aaron. But a really good result. That angle there is showing.
So much different, though, like the weight from one to the next.
So big chance here, but Ontario has stolen the previous end. They're looking to do it again, but Trevor Bonneau has it in his hand here. Nothing to it yet from McCarville and Gates, although Mike's trying to make it curl now. Close to getting a piece, and he's got it. Stick around. It'll stick. 1, 2, 3, and it's
great shot by
that'll
Trevor
be the game. In the Battle of Ontario, it is Northern Ontario that comes out ahead. They'll finish this game with an 8-3 win over the team from Ontario. And it is Trevor Bonneau going to a 6-3 record. Mike McLean's Ottawa rink dropping Ontario down to 6-3 in the standings. And I have to say, I really appreciate being joined today by James Grattan, the skip of Team New Brunswick. James, you got a game tomorrow, what, 2 p.m. Mountain Time?
2 and 7, yes, thanks.
2 p.m. tomorrow, so best of luck the rest of the way, James. Really appreciate having you here in the booth. We'll be back tomorrow at 2 p.m. We'll have our next feature game. You can find the scores for all of the games that are out on the ice. And should mention tomorrow, starting things off 10 a.m. Sorry about that. Sheet A, we're going to have Alberta taking on Newfoundland and Labrador. And from all of us here at the 2021 Canadian Mixed Curling Championships, I'm Darren McEwen signing off. Have a great night. We'll talk to you tomorrow.